Hi everybody, I'm Mac and welcome back. So for today's session, I'm running very hot. So hot that I need to shave. Do you think I need to shave? I need a haircut a little bit? Maybe. Comment down below if I need one. So anyways, yeah, I did. Sometimes you do run hot, and let's see how I play these kinds of games. Let's roll. First hand of the night, I got pocket deuces here, and everyone limps before me. So I don't want to raise here because I always put a raise. People always tend to call me, and on the flops, people hit, and I don't hit because I only have to hit with a deuce here. So there is some merits to put raise here, but as always, people tend to call. Anyway, I just decided to put limp here, and the big blind decided to squeeze for $12. Here, I think a squeeze is a good idea because there's so much of dead money here. But if you want to squeeze, put a big bet, a real bet, not of $12 because there's already more than that in the pot. And what it will do if the next one, the other gun, try to calls, then a chain of reaction, everyone will call because the pot's odds is more attractive. So if you want to raise, here, put a big bet. Don't be ashamed. Assume yourself. Anyway, we're 6 to call for flop, which was a 5 of club, 9 of spades, and a 2 of clubs. So here I hit my set. That's a good news. And the undergun decided to overpot of 125 here. And that guy, when he tends to overpot, I'm putting him on more of a higher pair or ace king of clubs here because that's how he normally plays with like a high pair. Anyway, on my right guy, calls for 1-5, and that guy is a really neat guy. He tends to not play a lot, only like specific hands, premium hands, or when he's super strong. So now I'm thinking, should I put a raise here if I want both people to call my raise, or should I just call and see what the other card's gonna be because we're so deep in the hand and I don't want to be broke if like there's a club that comes. Anyway, I decided to call. Were 3 ways to see a turn, which was a 3 of heart. And the other gun decided to go all in for 170. My right side decided to fold, and I make the easy call of 170. And the villain shows pocket tens, and the right beside me had 9 of club and 7 of club. I don't know why he decided to fold here because he had a pair and he had a flush here and he had all the odds. Anyway, my pocket deuce hold because the river was a 6 of clubs. So that guy beside me should have called. I don't know why he didn't call to my surprise, but I dodged a bullet and I'm grateful for that. Sands are pocket aces and there's a straddle on. I'm in the middle position, so I put a bet of $20. The cutoff call, bottom calls, big blind calls, and the straddle call. The flop is a queen, jack, 7, and 2 spades. The undergun decided to dunk bet and put a dunk bet of $30. And now with my pocket aces, I think he's always like either hit a pair or he's gonna do that with a flush draw. So I decided to pump it up at $80, where I should probably pump it up a little bit more, but I decided to put it at $80. And the cutoff call and the undergun decided to fold, so that to my surprise. The turn was a 9 of clubs. Now, since the cutoff called my re-raise, so I think he had a lot of strength here. Anyway, so I decided to be extreme comfortable and decided to check, and he checked as well. And now the river was an 8 of diamond. Now, since he checked back, I think he mainly have a very strong hand, or he only like for a flush draw. And since of that, I think he either have 2 pair as well. So queen jack or a pocket, but I think a pocket should have bet here on the turn. So I think he didn't hit. So with that in mind, I think he doesn't have a 10 as well. Because or else he would have probably still bet, or he might have a 10. But anyway, I think he either have 2 pair or a flush draw missed. So with all that in mind, I put a bet of $100 and he made the call. And he showed 9-8 of spades. Next hand, I got ace-6 suited in the middle position. So I put a raise at $15. Seems to be the reasonable bet here at that night. The bottom calls and the big blind calls. The flop was a king, queen, 3, and 2 diamonds here. So I decided to put a c-bet here because I got 2 diamonds. I got a flush draw. So I put it $20, and to my surprise, the bottom raised it at $90, the big blind fold. And here the bottom seems to be very aggressive, and he's super bluffy, tends to make weird plays, but he's strong. But with all that in mind, I cannot just fold here because I could have a nut. So I decided to call my $90, and the turn was a 4 of spade here. So I decided to check, and to my surprise, he checked back. Now the river here is a 5 of diamond. And now I think a 5 of diamond is a good card for him to bluff, because I could show weakness and decide to not have a flush here and decide only have a king, ace king probably. Anyway, I decided to check to be sneaky here and let him like make a bluff at it. And he makes a little joke, look at his hand and thinks like, I didn't have it. And he goes all in, and I decide to make an easy call, and he had 9, 10 of diamonds. So he did have a strong hand. Next hand, I got 8-6 of heart in the hijack position. Under gun +1 decided to limp, so I put a raise at $15. And our villain of this session, which was the same guy as the previous hand, decided to put a big bet of $100 in the big blind position. And the other gun +1 decided to call here. So since there's only one caller with the big bet, so I probably had the odds of like 1/3 here if I put the bet. And since we're all deep for this session, I decided to make the call of $100. The flop was a king of club, 10 of heart, and a 4 of heart. Here the big blind checked, and the other gun +1 position put a bet of $175 here. So since I have a flush draw, I decided to make the call, and the big blind decided to fold. The turn was a 2 of heart. Bingo, I hit my heart with a big pot here. Now the undergun +1 decided to check. Here I put a bet of $150. I probably should have put a higher bet, but I was very stressed because of that big pot situation. And I just like grab a little bit few of chip and put it on. So I have to bet for sure, but I think I should have bet higher, like at least $200 or more, like $225 or higher, because I still was a bit scared that probably she had a heart as well and probably like go all in, and then I want to face an all-in situation. But anyway, I should bet, but I think I probably should bet higher here. And she made the call to my surprise, and the river was a 5 of heart. She goes check here, and I don't think she probably have a higher heart in her hand, so I decided to just check because I have showdown value, and she didn't have any heart. I said I had a heart, and I showed, and I won this big. So I don't always recommend to put a big bet like $100 pre-flop for these kinds of hand, but since I was deep and running good, there is that session, I decided to go for it, and that's you should do depending on the situation. If you have a big stack, probably you should be looser and tend to make calls like that. For my last hand of the night, I got King 10 of club, and I'm in this small blind position. And the villain of my previous hands decided to make a change position before that hand and be on my left side. And that's good for someone to be on the left of someone else, because you have position out of him and you can play make more bluffs, and you can play more offense than someone. So being him on my left side, I think he's there for making more bluffs on me. Anyway, there's only the bottom that limps here, so I decided to go a limp because I knew he would raise, and he likes to raise a lot. So as he did, he put a bet of $27, and the bottom falls, and I decided to make the call. The flop was 9, 8, 3, and 2 diamonds. And here I just decided to make a check, standard check, and he c-bet. So I think he have a large frequency here of c-betting. So I just decided to make the call as well of his $30 c-bet. The turn was a jack of spades. Now here I got a gutter, two gutters. So either a queen or a 7 could give me a straight here. So I decided to check. There's no reason here to show some strength, and he tends to be aggressive. So I tend to him to let him more play aggressive. So he decided to check as well here. So the river was a 7 of diamond. I decided to play sneaky again because I just hit my straight, and I think he could bluff for on that river as well. And to my surprise, he overbet the pot twice, and he put $100 here. Now the flush could hit as well because there's 3 diamonds on the board, but I think he's just a big bluffer as well. And since I have a straight here, you could have either 2 pairs, or sometimes you could have a flush here, but I think if he had a flush, he would tend to bet on the turn as well to like bring the pot higher. So with all that in mind, I just decided to call, and he shows 5 and 7 of offsuit. As you can see, I was super lucky on some situation, and I think I played good compared to which person I was playing against. But compared to my month of June, where I didn't go super well, my month of July is starting some pretty good, where I made under 7 hours, I made around like $1,100. That's a lot. And I just gotta appreciate those times, because when I'm completely lost on other hands, you feel good when you're running hot sometimes. It will happen to everyone. You just have to manage to keep it and not blow it because you're like playing more loose. So you gotta stay focused even though you're winning, and don't let other people's judgment or opinions gonna change your play as well. So stay focused. You gotta stay concentrated. Anyway, I love running hot. I hope you do too. See you on the next